According to the CDC, nearly 9 out of 10 people who have a cardiac arrest outside of the hospital die. But CPR can improve those odds.
Wake Up Wisconsin anchor Mark Charter has a CPR refresher on this segment of Wellness Wednesday.
Okay, so first off, why don't we talk about why CPR is so successful? What's it designed to do?
So CPR is designed to take over the stuff that normally happens automatically when your heart is beating, right? If the heart isn't pumping blood around, we need to do something to supplement that or replace it. So by pushing on the center of the chest hard and fast, we can start to move some of that blood and very important oxygen around the body and to the brain, most importantly.
I think when a lot of people think about CPR, it can be a little intimidating. Stephanie, is there any special training that people need when it comes to doing it?
You know, there is formal training. You can go and get certified as CPR, but you know, watching a YouTube video can alone be helpful by itself. So being able to just understand the very basics of what I'm doing, putting my hands in the center of the chest, pushing hard and fast. But we're really lucky in Dane County that we also have a very robust 911 system. And so when you call 911, those call takers, those dispatchers will walk you through exactly what you need to do. So if you forget, if in the heat of the moment you can't remember exactly what you're supposed to do, call 911 and they will help you perform CPR.
And we know there are a couple of kinds of CPR out there. Is there any one in particular that's best to perform?
So I think the best kind to perform is anything that you can perform.
Sure.
So if you're most comfortable performing hands-only CPR, which is just where you do chest compressions, then absolutely do that. If you want to go get the formal certification and learn about the rescue breaths and more things that you can do that. But not everyone's comfortable doing that, so we always say do the most that you can do and the most that you're willing to do.
And we love having active television, so we have a prop in front of us this morning. I believe this is Carl. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to do a demonstration to talk more about, some of the do's and don'ts when it comes to doing this. So let's get started. Let's do it.
Sounds good. So Carl here, I've come upon him. He's laying down on the floor. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to look for initially is he breathing? Is he responsive? Do I see normal breathing, right? Normal breathing, not gasping, not anything, just what the general public would say, yep, he's breathing normal. If he's not, I want to make sure that somebody is going to call 911 and I'm going to immediately start compressions. So 2 hands in the center of the chest, up over the top, and start pushing hard and fast.
If you've seen the show The Office, you know the Bee Gees thing, right? Staying alive, staying alive. Is that an accurate representation of what you should be doing?
That is absolutely accurate.
Okay.
Staying alive works. Achy breaky heart works, ironically. If you're a Star Wars fan, the Imperial March works. There are lots of different things that you can find depending on your musical tastes.
And when it comes to doing this, like we mentioned, it can be intimidating to perform CPR on somebody. But is there a certain depth that we're looking for when it comes to pushing down on somebody's chest? Because that can be scary.
It is. And so we always say push hard and fast in the center of the chest. Ideally, we're looking for at least 2 inches in the adult, but we don't always know exactly how deep that is. So as hard as you can push is really the best thing that you can do.
Okay, and we also have a device here behind Carl, and I believe this is an AED.
Yes.
Can we talk more about that?
Absolutely. So an AED is an automated external defibrillator. This is a device that when your heart is not having a normal electrical rhythm, it can shock it back into that appropriate rhythm, hopefully.
Okay.
It's kind of like unplugging and plugging things back in. It's the reset switch.
And this is interesting because this is giving us
defib pads to patients' bare chest.
direct directions, which makes it fairly simple.
Absolutely. If you can turn the machine on and call 911, the machine and the 911 call taker will help you through the rest.
Wow. And how does this whole thing work? It's battery powered, is that right?
It is, yes. And they are usually in a cabinet hanging on the wall with a big sign. And you turn it on, it'll talk you through the rest.
It really does talk through the whole thing.
Shock delivered. Start CPR.
It tells me exactly what I need to do.
And are you doing CPR as this machine is running?
It depends.
Okay.
Listen to the machine's instructions.
Okay, that sounds great. Well, you two, thank you so much for being with us today. We certainly appreciate it. Always good information to have because you never know when something like this can happen.